right, guys, thanks for checking out another awesome knife video. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I got all kinds of stuff coming out and you will not be disappointed. This here is an awesome knife. This is what I call a legend of the past. It's called the Benchmade 730 Aries, and we're gonna just open it right up. I'm gonna show you this. Check this out. This, my friends, is a vintage Benchmade made in the year 2000. Check that out. I mean, it is immaculate. And I'm going to open it up. Smooth as silk. So one of my buddies in California sent this to me. He said, "Hey, you review Sweetknives. You want to take a look at this?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'll take a look at it." So I'm taking a look at it, and it is awesome. Again, this is the Benchmade 730 Aries, made in the USA. It's a vintage Benchmade from the year 2000. I'm going to zoom in, give you some up close. He hasn't used it. I don't know where he got it, but it's been in his collection. He's a big time collector, and he said, "Hey, just take a look at this. Tell me what you think." And I'll tell you what, I've seen this one, and it is awesome. So the guy that designed it was Alan Elishewitz, and he's a famous knife designer. He's had a lot of different collaborations with Benchmade, made all kinds of different designs for them. This one, though, is called the Aries, and it's in immaculate condition. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Comes in this little zipper pouch. I don't know if this is original, but this is what the guy sent it to me in, so it's pretty sweet. It does have this Benchmade. This is the old style Benchmade Clip. Notice it says Benchmade and then USA. That's how they used to look back in the day. And you can reverse it. You could put it on this side if you wanted, but that's the only side that you can put it on, and it is awesome. I love that when it fits in your pocket like this. If you're right-handed and you have it in your right pocket, it doesn't interfere at all with your hand. I mean, it's really smooth. It's a perfect knife for your pocket. And I'll give you a little bit of dimensions on it. So this is 8.2 inches open, and if you close it, it's 4.7 inches. The blade length, 3.6 inches. And it's a fairly heavy knife. It comes in around 4.4 ounces, and immaculate centering. Now the liners, they're made out of stainless steel, 410J, 410 stainless steel. I don't know if it's J2, but it's 410 stainless steel. I'm going to zoom in. Check this out. You can see, to eliminate some of the weight, they skeletonized it on both sides. So it definitely does have a little bit of weight reduction from that. The jimping here, this is more what I call designer jimping. It's just there for kind of looks. It doesn't really provide much grip. In fact, it's recessed a little right there. You also have it right here on this side on the top. It doesn't really do much, but it's still there in case you want to get a little bit of extra leverage. The blade material is made out of 154 cm, and before 154 cm, they used ATS 34, and they're really similar steels, but one I believe was made in Japan, the other is made, I believe, in the US. So basically the same, pretty much. I mean, you can look it up, but it's pretty much the same materials that went into each steel. And this is what Benchmade used in the early 2000s as their premier top-of-the-line steel before things like S30V and some other ones came out. And what I can tell you about 154 cm, it does hold an edge extremely well. This blade is super sharp. It's never been used, so it's got a factory edge, and we'll test that sharpness in just a second. But it's very difficult to sharpen. So unless you're using diamonds, you're going to have a hard time sharpening this. If you had regular bench stones, it would take a lot longer to do. You can do it. It'll just take a lot longer. Another thing I want to mention is this access lock mechanism. So I'm telling you guys, a lot of you are familiar with Benchmade and some of their, their knives from the past. And this one here is truly a legend of the past. But a lot of these ones that have the access lock, it is such a smooth opening. This is one of the smoothest opening knives that I've ever felt in my life. I mean, it's one hand, no problem. Close it, you just push that back and it goes down. A lot of people you'll see, they just flick it like that and it opens, and you can flick it and go down. I mean, it is super smooth. It's hard to do on, on camera, but you know, that's how you open it and close it if you want. Really, really nice. Another thing too, this blade is what they call a spear point. So you notice it's got a primary grind here and then a secondary primary grind right there, and it comes to a spear. This is great for tactical purposes, self-defense, anything like that. It's a really good spear point, makes the tip really strong. So definitely really cool. And this one here is satin finished. They did make this, I believe, in BK coating, so black and some other things. One thing I did want to do, let's test the sharpness. Let's see how sharp this comes from the factory. I got the best sharpening system right here. This measures in grams how sharp something is. I'm going to tear it out. I got a clip in, and let me just straighten it out here. Okay, I'm going to tear it again. Okay, let's, that still don't look straight. Hang on. All right, now it looks straight. Tear it out again. Ready? We're going to do 1, 2, 3. 184. So 184 is actually pretty sharp. Now, as you've seen probably in some of my sharpening videos, we're getting this quite a bit sharper, but 184 comes in right at a utility razor blade. And a lot of Benchmades, when they come from the factory, they're right around this 300 mark, which is where new high-end cutlery edges are. I know this is kind of hard to read, but what we're shooting for on when we sharpen with like these precision sharpeners, doesn't matter what you have. I like to use the Wicked Edge, and sometimes I use a Tormek, and I have I have a whole bunch. But when I'm going for an ultra mirror, I'm trying to get under 100, and so this one scores in at 184. That puts us, you know, really, it's really sharp. I mean, this will cut any paper. I mean, this is how they come from the factory. It's never been used, so it's actually really sharp. But what we're going to do in part 2, we're going to actually get it a lot sharper, and I'm going to turn that 184 into like probably like 50 or something like that. So we're going to get it a lot sharper than that. So that's kind of cool. I did want to show you another thing with this handle. So one of the things that you may have seen is this handle. It's been sitting around a long time in, you know, kind of storage in a safe. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to try to clean it a little bit. So you can grab one of these magic erasers, and if you just dip that in a little bit of water like this is a magic eraser, and if you just rub that on the scales, I'm not putting any oil or anything like that, I'm literally just cleaning the G10 just to try to make it pop just a little bit more. And what this does is it takes off a lot of the just the oils and the stuff that have built up over the years. So you do that on both sides, and that cleans it. So this is a good way if you just want to clean that G10 and get it nice and clean. I do it on both sides. This knife has it's real subtle, you know, just real subtle. This is a real subtle G10, but you just take those erasers like that and you do that, and I mean, it gets a lot of that stuff off. Look how dirty that is. So you can already tell it's a little bit cleaner, a little bit sharper. That's how we want it. You could go the extra mile and you could put different oils on. There is this ballistol stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Some people use WD-40. I'm not doing any of that. This isn't my knife. This is my buddy's knife. I don't want to do something he wouldn't want. So I'm going to just leave it as it is. But this does make it pop just using the magic eraser. Another thing I want to mention, it does have a lanyard hole right there, so you can attach a lanyard if you want, and it does have this, I believe that's a Zytel back spacer, basically like a hard plastic right there, just to hold it kind of all together. This is definitely a tactical knife, 100% tactical, and you can use it for, you know, defense purposes if you needed to. You know, you could use that for penetrating. You could use it for hunting. You could use it as a nice everyday carry. I mean, this is one of the smoothest vintage Benchmades that you'll ever find. Another thing too, I wanted to tell you, there are variations to this knife. So this knife did come in a greenish colored G10 at one point around the same time this one did in the year 2000. The other different ones that it came in was carbon fiber, had a carbon fiber handle, and then there were several limited edition ones for the 730. The only place that I know you can really get this is on the secondary market. So if you're looking for this knife, you're going to have to go to like blade forums, or you're going to have to go to, places like eBay, or, any place where, people are collecting and selling knives, but you're not going to find this in any stores anymore. What else can I tell you? General ergonomics. I mean, it feels really good in the hand. This one's got serrades. They did make it in a straight edge, plain edge, and then they have these ones in the serrades. These are actually really good serrades, so if you needed to, you could sharpen those too. There's a way to do that. I'm not going to do that because they're just pretty much perfect, but you could do that. I did have one other knife from around the same era that I wanted to show you. I've already done a review on it. This is the Benchmade 750 Pinnacle. These knives both came out around the same time, and they're very similar in size. So if you've seen the 750, and I'll put a review, you can check out my review right up there. Hit that if you want to check out the full review. But this is the 750, and this is a sweet knife too. This one's made out of titanium, but these came out around the same time, and I just wanted to give you kind of a comparison of, the size difference. Pretty much the same size. Really close. The Pinnacle might be just a hair bigger, but really, really close. This is another legend of the past. I love that Benchmade 750 as well. That's a liner lock, frame lock design. This is an axis lock design. But overall, these are awesome, awesome knives. Definitely recommend it. I'm looking to do a lot more reviews on these. If anybody has any knives they want me to feature on the channel, just shoot me over your contact info, and we can definitely get them highlighted on this channel. And one of the things I'm doing too is I'm sharpening these. So part 2, how sharp we can get this. I mean, we're going to get it. We're going to literally get it super, super sharp. So thanks again, guys. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if you have any questions. Take care.